So I'm looking a lot more fresh-faced than I normally do at this time in the morning. I've got the photographer coming to do the Wide Boot Company Christmas photo shoot, so I'm really excited about it. I've got 2 of my horses are going to be photographed for it, so my PRE gelding, which is my Spanish gelding, and then my homebred half Spanish half thoroughbred yearling. So yeah, I'm just off to the yard now to go and try and get them ready. I've got one in on box rest, so it's going to be a bit manic this morning trying to sort everything out, but yeah, can't wait for Sophie the photographer to turn up. It's going to be really, really exciting. So a bit frustrating. I've rushed over to get a saddle pad and a jacket out of my lorry wardrobe, and I can't actually get in it. It's frozen shut, which is really not helpful. So I guess we won't be using the jackets for the photo shoot on this occasion, and I'll just have to use my other saddle pad that is on my dressage saddle. It's a bit of a shame because the other one's quite wintry and pretty, but anyway, there we go. Winter has hit. Oh, so it's really beautiful up here. Looks like Elf's got a bit annoyed with the water buckets because for some reason one of the water buckets is now over there, and it started there, so I'm assuming it got a bit frozen and then he's decided to lift it out and put it somewhere else. And here's Hopalong. Hello, how are you this morning? Are you better? Right, time to get on with some feeding and start plaiting up and getting everybody ready. So unfortunately I didn't get much vlogging done for this, it was too much of a rush. So we've just done the ridden pictures of Elf in his Spanish tack and with his Christmas scarf on and stuff. And he's actually a really good boy, so that was nice. And then baby Estrella has been perfectly behaved. She's been stood here by herself, tied up for about half an hour at least, and I'm just doing her first ever plait, and I'm going to put some little Christmas bows in. So I'm really pleased with how it's going so far. And Sophie and Carly are just over there, and they're doing some of the on-foot pictures with the dog. So yeah, just halfway through the shoot now, and it seems to be going well, and Fiona's here helping me as well. So it's a team effort, everybody's mucking in and holding things and passing things, and so yeah, all good. Right, so I didn't manage to get much vlogging done, so it was as usual very hectic. It's always quite a rush doing these photo shoots, but anyway, it's really nice to have Fiona and Carly here to help, and the photography seems to go really well. I think we should have some really nice shots, and the horses were very well behaved. Estrella especially, you know, she's hardly ever been tied up and she's never been plaited up before, so she was really good. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing the results now. So this is a selection of my favourite photos from the shoot. So this is Il Forbio, otherwise known as Elf, doing his Spanish walk. And these are the Arborio boots, which are one of my newest products. I really love these, along with my very, very cheap coat that I bought online, but it looked really nice, I thought. This blue coat in these pictures is a Welligog's coat, which is really flattering. Really like these pictures, actually. They're beautiful. And that's Il Forbio again, doing some of his dressage moves. And Carly with her lovely dog. These are the Orla suede boots, which are really lovely for sort of posh days out. And this is Orla, my dog, and Carly's dog having fun together, and Orla and I again. These are Equine Splendor breeches, which I really like as well. And this is my little yearling with Il Forbio. Estrella, she was just so well behaved, and she looked so cute with her little gold bows in her mane. I was just very pleased with her. She just behaved very nicely. And that's Elf and I again. I'd really recommend Sophie. She did such a great job. So this is a video of Atia. So I think this was a few days after the shoot, and this is me just trying to see how she was walking with her abscess poultice on. There's a dry poultice, and I decided to turn her out because she hates being stabled. So okay. She was walking quite nicely there.
So it's very sore, isn't it, darling?
Just to show you how lame she was on that abscess before the vet located it. This was the day before the vet managed to find it and drain it. She was so sore. Here you can see all the pus coming out of the foot where the hole is. I actually took the video to send to him because she was meant to be having a lameness workup and a joint injection, and he didn't want me to bute her, but I didn't feel she should be left without bute overnight, so I did actually end up giving her a bute to help with that. So I ordered these just before Christmas to try and get the 2022 pricing before the cost went up, and just because I thought I might have time to put them down over Christmas. Glimmer of light in an otherwise dark week. So I've got another pallet load of mats because I just can't cope with the mud anymore. I'm just getting too old to push the barrow through when it's heavy, filled with liquid mud and poo all, mashed together. It's just so heavy I can't get it out, so I've added some more mud mats so that I can make my sort of hay grazing area a bit bigger, and just add some more pathways out for the barrow, so should make life a bit easier hopefully. So I did manage to fit in one nice thing before Christmas, and this was Christmas Eve, and we managed to dress up and go out for a little ride just around the block. It was Atia's first ride after the abscess, and Sophie, who comes and rides her with me, wanted to do a little Christmas ride before she went away on holiday. So yeah, it was really lovely. We did that. Atia really enjoyed it, and the cheap coat got another Christmas outing. So it's a few days after Christmas, and I've tried to have a few days off. I haven't escaped people still messaging me with queries for the business and stuff. So, but anyway, I've been trying to get my mud mats sorted out because it's just horrendous, the weather. I don't know, I'm sure lots of you are in the same boat, especially if you have your horses out 24/7, but it's just bloody miserable this time of year, and when it rains constantly, I get real problems with flooding up at my field, so it's just been really difficult. And then just to top it off, Elf has managed to pull his shoe off, so the only thing that I obviously wanted to do over Christmas, apart from catch up with jobs around the yard, was to ride a bit, and I can't even do that now. So yeah, why do we bother? But yeah, just to show you, this is my gateway. This isn't as bad as it used to get, because I did have this sort of stone put down just so I could always guarantee the hay deliveries could get in at least. But yeah, the other end where Elf and Estrella are down the bottom, I'll show you in a minute, it is super wet, and relaying the mud mats. I've put my back out. It was very difficult lifting them all up because they all had liquid poo and muck underneath them, but my husband very gallantly helped me, so we've got halfway through, and now I've still got this pallet load to add to it to try and make a decent platform for them to stand on. Because before I could only afford one pallet, and I had little connecting paths between sort of standing pods, and they just ended up walking the mud over the mats, and the single strip ones would disappear under sort of, they weren't too deep in mud, but just enough that when you've got a head torch on at night, you can't really see where the path is, and try and get the wheelbarrow through with the hay, and it would fall off the edge of the path. And yeah, so I'm just trying to reconfigure it to make it easier, because anything that I could do to try and get through the end of this winter now to keep my sanity is going to be a good thing. So yeah, this is what I've relayed, because this just gets so underwater. As you can see, it's all completely pooled. I've been trying to use old straw and old hay underneath to try and raise the level slightly so that it doesn't sink so much. I was hoping to get someone to come and help me do the drainage, but they haven't got back to me about it. As per usual, I just don't know what is wrong with people that do outdoor work. They just don't seem to want to ever turn up or give you a quote or do what they say they're going to do. So I'm kind of getting to the point I'm going to end up digging a ditch myself at the back there, I think, just to let this water drain away and get some fencing in to stop the horses going down into the ditch. So yeah, obviously I haven't poo picked yet, but I'm going to have another stab at adding the next section on here, and then I'm going to have to relay all of this so it all joins up properly. That's their little hay feeding area, and there was a path that connected this together, but I've taken it away at the moment to try and rejoin it all up in a more, in a better way. So yes, that's my task for today. Yeah, so before Christmas, this one, Atia, who's my ex-race horse, she's got a bit of arthritis in her front foot, the white one, and I'd booked her in to have a joint injection done, which was going to be arthromid, and I'd saved up over several months 650 quid to have it done, and then she went absolutely hopping lame just before I was due to take her. So that turned out to be a really horrible abscess, which the vet was worried might have gone into her navicular bursa. Had it done, that would have been it for her, because it's about £6,000 to flush it out, and not, you don't even know if that will be successful. And I don't have that kind of money. She's not insured to any full value anymore because of the injury only policy, because so many exclusions on it, it's not worth paying for the full amount anymore. So yes, that was a nice little extra bit of money. And then she also colicked because of the frost, and I think she had a bit of ulcers from being in her stable overnight for a few days on box rest while she was being poulticed. So I've also taken it as a chance to try and wean her from Estrella, who was over there while they were separated for a few days, because it was time to really separate them properly. So she's now in here for 6 weeks with the pony being weaned properly. So yes, and this was my other problem before Christmas. So Lulu, who is 20, coming up 23, she's my New Forest pony that I inherited with my field. She has had horrible diarrhoea. So the vet thought it was to do with the frost and that it had upset her natural gut bacteria. So she's had a course of powder stuff, and she was in on box rest for about a week. Didn't really make much difference, but she seems a little bit better. Her poos are a bit more normal this week, so we're just going to keep an eye on her. She's out now. She's just come in for her breakfast to keep her out of the way, because she steals everybody else's food otherwise, don't you? But yeah, so that's also been another bit of a vet bill to add to my thoroughbreds colic and abscess vet bills that came. So yeah, anyway, the joys of horses, hey? So I'm pleased to report that Lulu is now back to normal, thank goodness, because the stable was disgusting. And now for my slight nervous breakdown. So yeah, this is, I'm a couple of hours in, trying to put these mud mats down. As usual, I'm by myself and haven't got any help because my husband is at work. I tried really hard to get people to help me sort the yard stuff out before winter set in, and I was completely messed around by everybody that said they'd come and quote, or people that came and looked at it and then didn't bother quoting. I had money back then before my giant vets bill to pay for it all to be done properly, and I don't know what the hell is wrong with people. They just don't seem to want to work. I earn under £6 an hour for my work that I do for the boot business. That's what I earn. People don't even seem to want to come and do digging a hole. It's not even difficult, is it? But my back just can't stand doing that kind of work anymore. And I was offering to pay like £20-25 an hour for somebody to come and do it, and you can't bloody get anyone to come. So I don't know what the hell is wrong with people, but yeah, I just feel completely downhearted by the whole thing, because I've ended up doing it all by myself, trying to level the ground by hand with old straw and stuff to try and soak up some of the wet and mud. Yeah, I don't know why I bother, really. Really depressing. Sorry, I know this is probably a depressing vlog to watch, but anyway, I just think it shows the reality of living through the winter, doesn't it, with horses, and doing it all by yourself and having no money to put into it as well. Yeah, anyway. So I managed to aggravate the disc in my back finishing this, but I did get it done, and I'm really pleased with the difference it's made. It's got rid of a lot of that lying water, and I can now push the wheelbarrow straight out of the gate where the hay is and put it straight out into the hay box. It does feel like the rain just has not stopped this winter. I think it's the worst ever. So for New Year's Eve we actually went to London, so I did the horses early afternoon, and then we left and went to stay at my friend's flat in London, which was really nice to have a bit of a break. My back was completely ruined by this point, so I spent the next day crawling around on their carpet, unable to move very much, but it was nice to have a night away, have some lovely food, and my friend Mel did the horses for me in the morning, so we didn't have to rush back, which was great. So I suppose one upshot of horrendous rain is lovely rainbows. So here are the horses with a double rainbow in the field. So yeah, and my farrier very kindly agreed to let me take Elf over to his house in my horse box so that he could put a shoe back on him, even though he hasn't gone back to work after Christmas yet. I was just desperate to ride. It was making me really depressed, and even though my back's not great, I just want to do something with him before I go back to my office job. So he was so well behaved. I unloaded him in this residential street and he stood perfectly. Only problem was we did turn up an hour early by mistake, so luckily my farrier's baby was very well behaved and slept the whole time that he was putting the shoe back on, because his wife hadn't quite got back from work yet. So me turning up an hour early was a bit unexpected, and I'm very thankful to him for sorting that out for me. Probably the first time I've been early for anything in my life. So I haven't had a chance to edit it all yet, but I have got a vlog coming up about my last lesson with Raphael Soto, which was at the beginning of December, and also about a quite disastrous trip to the London Horse Show. So yeah, subscribe if you're interested in hearing about those 2 trips out, and I will get those up as soon as possible. Hope you've enjoyed joining me for my winter of misery, and let's hope 2023 is a bit better for the weather. Can't get much worse. I hope not anyway.